everyone, what's going on? Andrew Summers here, coming at you with a description video for an updated build of mine. Now if you've been on the channel for long enough, or you've just been a recent subscriber and have looked around a bit, you'll notice that one of my first videos that I put on this channel was of an armored SUV. Now, at the time, I built that SUV because I was really into the concept of armored Chevrolet Suburbans, you know, those large 3-row SUVs. And I wanted an armored version, so I built one. But the thing is, with all of my builds, they will eventually go through a redesign. Sometimes it's a partial redesign, sometimes it is a complete redesign. This is pretty much the latter. This is a complete redesign of that Chevrolet Suburban into something that's based off of a different vehicle. As of late, on Instagram, I've been getting a lot of recommended pictures of overlanding vehicles. So Toyota Land Cruisers, Jeep Wranglers, Nissan Armadas, and all of that has, well, it's pretty much got me inspired to do this. Now for starters, as with all of my land vehicles, it has steering and suspension. So I can turn the front wheels, and I can also move them up and down. The rear set, it also does the same. You know, it goes up and down, so I can roll over obstacles. The door situation is the same. This vehicle has opening doors and it still seats 4 people. Though in its current configuration with the gunner up top in his turret ring, it only seats 3. So you just have the driver, the navigator, and then the gunner. And the reason for that is if I take off the door here completely, you can see that his legs, they protrude in the rear space, so I can't really fit any figures in back. But there are 4 seats and it does seat 4 people. Now, the main thing I redesigned with this vehicle was the fenders. For a while I've been using 45-degree slopes to complete the fenders, and while I like that design, I always like trying to innovate and trying to change some things. So with this version, I went with an inverted studs approach. So as you can see here, the plates that are mounted up top, those are inverted. You know, you have a bracket right here connected to a jumper plate, and then a tile here. The fenders themselves, I should say, right here are based off of a 1x2 window bar. That piece is something I've always wanted to use in a fender construction, and I had never really figured out a way how to incorporate it. Until now, that is. So you can see the back, it has the same treatment as the front, and I think it's a really good angle, and it works nicely with this style of vehicle, you know, shorter and all. The front is, well, this was kind of a journey to build in and of itself, but as you can see here, the coolest feature is probably the red accents. So you have your regular grille tiles up in front, but then behind that you have a second pair of grille tiles, which gives it a nice splash of color. Now I can't take complete credit for that red accent idea. I have a friend named Christian who builds Lego Jeeps, so military style Jeeps, based off of the Wrangler Unlimited, you know, the 2018 version, 2007 version, and on upward. And he was looking at some source material, and he decided to put some red hooks on his bumper on his Jeep, and I thought, you know, I'm just going to steal that from you and incorporate red accents into my vehicle somehow. So what you see there with the grille tiles, that was my end result. But the red stuff, the red accents, actually don't end there, rather. Because if you turn the vehicle to the side here, and we zoom in, you can actually see that I've given red treatment to the faux suspension components. So right there, you got red faux springs. And the same goes with the back end of the vehicle. If you could see it there, you got red springs as well. One of the bigger changes on this, apart from just the fenders and overall design, was on the old armored SUV, I did not have an opening lift gate, or swing gate for that matter. However, with this vehicle, I've completely changed that, so now it does have an opening swing gate, which I can open like so. So back here you get room for various cargo, be it weapons or backpacks or whatnot. And the details on the back, of course you got your spare tire, and then 2 gas cans in case you ever need those. And then for added detail, there's also a sensor of some kind. I don't know exactly what this would be used for, but It's a cool little detail, so I added it. Then you also have your standard aerial right here. You can also see there's one up in the front mounted on the passenger side mirror. You got a little rope detail here. And then on the very bottom you have tailpipes, and then you also have a tow hitch. So if I ever build a trailer, which I've built in the past but I just haven't really revived that, if I ever build a trailer, it can be mounted on the back here. For the gunner in the turret ring, he is armed with an M249 from Brick Arms. And if you're wondering how I did the construction of the turret ring, well, that's just a simple pneumatic tube. So you take the tubing and then you clip it towards the back here using just two 1x1 clips. So you make a ring out of that, and the gunner has his own turret ring. The roof mounted lights, you can see those are right there, but next to them you can see a snorkel or an air scoop nozzle. I don't exactly know what these things are really called. I think they're called snorkels, but I added this detail because frankly without it the front would look a little too plain. So I wanted something here, and this kind of fit the bill. And then you could also see better the antenna mounted on the passenger side with a side view mirror attached to that. Now, before I end this video, I should say a lot of people liked the armored Suburban design that I had. And cool thing is, if you'd like to have an armored Suburban for yourself, I have actually put the instructions online on Bricklink. So just the past couple days I took a bit of time and I recreated a similar version of it. LDD has its restrictions and whatnot, but I recreated it in LDD, so if you want to have an armored SUV for your own forces, feel free to hit up my Bricklink. I'll put that in the description below and you could check that out. But anyways, that's it for now. See you in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that if you feel you want to. But till next time, bye.